Hello everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm very excited to be here today at the Latinx event. Thank you for having me. Today we'll be talking about one of my favorite topics, which is 5 marketing mistakes you are making when you're in the game and how to avoid them, because I don't want to just give you problems, I want to give you also solutions. So first of all, who am I? I'm social media manager of Bright Gambit. I really like to, go to these events and like share all the stuff we do and also the stuff that I have been learning. Even though my degree actually is on animation and game design. So I'll give you like a quick of who is Bright Gambit. Pretty much we are an indie support initiative aimed to help video game developers. So if you're in need of funding or like marketing support or connections, all of that, we have all the services. And you can reach out to us, and basically our mission is to make your game come a reality. And this is pretty much our portfolio. As you can see here, there's two games here who actually have been part of Latinx now, today, and the last year, which is Lonesome Village and A Tiny Sticker Tale. They're both made by Ogre Pixel, a Mexican indie game studio. So yeah, those two games we have supported them. And A Tiny Sticker Tale is this year on this event, so that's really very exciting. We also help games like Grunt, Credolis, or Think What's the Case, Sanya, and Super Adventure Hand. Super Adventure Hand has come out on September 21st, so if you want to check it out, this is like our latest project. So yeah, if you want to play a really weird game. But now, let's go to the topic: top 5 marketing mistakes you're making with your indie game and how to avoid them. So this is the first mistake people usually make. So thinking marketing starts midway. And in some really bad scenarios, they think it starts at the end of the development. So pretty much this is a line that I made, which is called marketing research. And as you can see, there's pre-production, production, and post-launch. So a lot of people think it starts at post-launch or in production, but it actually starts at pre-production. So this is usually what happens. Like somebody asks you, do you have a marketing plan? And you go like, yes. Yesterday I made a tweet about my product. And that's my marketing post. I'm just putting it out there on social media casually. And that's how I'm doing marketing. Even though part of the marketing plan involves stuff like that, it's a little more complicated than that. And I'm going to explain you why. So it's very important when we are talking about the market opportunity to see if your game idea is popular, unique in the gaming community. These are the type of questions you have to ask. It's a little bit hard sometimes, but you have to think okay, my game is like this, and it's amazing, and I love it. Is it popular out there? People play games like mine? Is there a game which is very similar to mine? Is it unique? Why will players want to play this? And also, it's very common to go and look at the hits, the popular games, Zelda, Kirby, Ibañez, all of that. But it's also important to see recent games, very, very recent games, especially indie games, to see how did they manage their whole marketing technique, and also failures, seeing a game which had a big failure or didn't reach the potential they had. It's really important to go see why it happened, to see and try to learn how to avoid it. So target users and platforms. So who's going to be your main target public? This is going to be 2 topics. Who's going to be your main target public on consoles and on social media? It's 2 different things totally. So one is okay, I'm going to make a cozy, cute video game. Okay? And which platform will be better for that? PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. I think we can agree after some marketing research that Nintendo Switch is the #1 option. So sometimes people make this mistake of I'm going to make a shooter, a very violent game which is really cool and epic, and I'm going to put it on Nintendo Switch. Maybe some people will like it, but probably your public may be more on the Xbox side, just because if you look back and see the type of games that they're usually published on Xbox, on PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, there's going to be a very big variety, and actually you're going to see the same game posted in all the consoles, Hollow Knight, fantastic game. But it's very important to see your main public where it's going to be. But not only that, where you're going to find them on social media. So, like here you have an example. Just for the record, I know Twitter is called now X, but I'm still going to call it Twitter because apparently they made a study and 60% of the people still call it Twitter. And it's way more recognizable, so we're going to call it Twitter. And, like I said, let's take again the example of cute, cozy game. Well, where I'm going to find that public, where I'm going to find that people who really like the type of content. And after some research that I have personally done, TikTok is a very, very good option, and Instagram. If you're trying to like interact with more in the depths and all of that, Twitter is like a really good option still. We're going to see in the future how that changes. But yeah, like trying to also new platforms like Mastodon or Blue Sky, trying to hit everything, because by experience I can tell you, I have posted the same video, the same TikTok on different platforms. And on Twitter it had like 4 likes, and on TikTok it had like 3 million views, and I'm not kidding. So it's like very important, like maybe you have something really cool, but you have to find the public. So something else to do is that it's very important to research on the competition. What similar type of games there are, how they market their games. So for this example, I'm going to use Orten Was the Case, a game that we are also supporting. And when we were trying to find the public for Orten Was the Case, we were like, okay, it's a game about a time loop. It's a game about trying to save the world. Which game sounds like that? And it's like, well, Outer Wilds. Orten Was the Case was started to being developed on 2015. So even the developer told us like, oh, when Outer Wilds came out, I felt like, no, my idea. But it's fine, like it's cool to see other options and see what people like or don't. And as you can see, it's time loop theme. Oscar, the developer, finds it like the most similar. And like this a little presentation that I did, like I cut it down just to share with you, but like I went into an investigation of what people like about the game. This game is better the less you know about it. It doesn't hold your hand at all, the art style, the music, and what people didn't like. Repetitive sometimes, a little slow for some players. This really helps so you understand which things you can do with your game and which you shouldn't. So the second mistake you are making is not getting feedback during production. Now, how feedback works. Please, first you have to know which questions you have to ask, because you have to know what do you want to know. It's not about just putting your game out there to some people and be like, find bugs for me. It's really helpful, but also it's really important to know like what do you want the players to feel, where are like the points of frustration, where are the points they like the most. And you also have to make unbiased questions. I have seen like sometimes there have been the mistake of, we know there's like a very hard part of a game, and sometimes people can go like, in this very specific part of the game, you feel frustrated, you feel like angry, you feel that it was a bad game. And maybe sometimes the people that were playing were like, no, I didn't feel like that, but now that you mention it, now I feel that it was frustrating. So you have to make the most unbiased question out there. And also, it's very important to make insights. If you're helping the developers making, making a list of, this all the feedback people have shared with us, don't just dump a 27-page list of this is what the people said. They liked the game this and they didn't. No, it's very important to make insights and to make a short resume of what people did enjoy and they didn't. And that's how you're going to help the developer. And if you're the developer and you're making this, you're also helping yourself. So that's cool. In this scenario, I'm putting myself as someone who helps the developer. But sometimes people have their self only to market their game. So hey, that's cool too. Mistake number 3, not searching marketing opportunities as platform provides. So this is a very common mistake, and something I have learned along the way is that all platforms have their way to support your indie game, but you have to find them. You have to be ready for it, you have to be prepared, you have to make something like very attractive so they like take your game in consideration, because there are a lot of like indie games out there. So I made a list of like things each platform provides. Xbox, the ID at Xbox Spotlight program is really good. Pretty much you are partnered with them, so it's like very good, like you give like more exposition, all of that, to get an article posted, being on the YouTube ID Xbox channel, booths ID Xbox showcases like this, like they can put your game on their booths, and be part of official streams. So This is a document I made, like, yeah, they asked me to do something for Lonesome Village, the game that I supported, as you can see there, my name. And yeah, they asked me, hey, do you want to make like an article and we can post it on the Xbox page? And that's really good, and I did it, and it helped a little bit with the exposition of the game. And also, Xbox invited me to be part of Lonesome Village stream on their official YouTube channel. And like, it was very exciting. I was very nervous, but like, we played the game and it was very fun. And all those opportunities, you have to, they don't reach out to you. It's very weird that they reach out to you. You have to go find them. So that's something to keep in consideration. Also, we submitted our game for an event, and we were part of this amazing, ID Xbox. We will appear with Hollow Knight Silksong, which was amazing to see the game like sharing. So yeah, that's like our opportunities Xbox shares. So Nintendo has especially indie world. It's very, very, very hard to be on indie world, but still you can reach out and see if you have a spot. And if you make it to the stream, like, you're golden. So it's like very important to do. There's also Nintendo Power Podcast, being trailers on their official YouTube channel, and the eShop. Especially if you manage to get the trailer of your game on their YouTube channel, that's also like a very good opportunity. For Lonesome Village, again, another example that I use, we had 368k views, so that really helped on the wish list. And also, like, being already on the Nintendo eShop and all of that is really good, like, to maybe be on a cozy game and everything. It's very important to find these opportunities so you get more wish lists. Steam, as you can see, Steam is way more known, that they have like the Steam events, like the Steam Next Fest. Amazing. Like, if you're an indie developer and you don't know where to start, I really recommend to you sign for the Steam Next Fest. Like, the Steam Next Fest, it can be like an incredible boost for wish list. So there's also sales, like maybe they have, I don't know, like the puzzle game sale, and you're like, oh my god, I have like a puzzle game, and you can submit your game, and you're going to be like in the front page with all the games. So that's really like a really good exposition too. And yeah, this is like the Steam Next Fest. We have here Ian from Super Adventure Hand playing his game. And like, you appear on the front page of the Steam Next Fest, and people can go and watch your stream and ask questions, and it's really fun and really amazing. So the fourth mistake is not allocating time to building relationships and partnerships. This one can be tricky. So it's really good. Like, I feel that in the community, we have to understand that indie game developers, as I have known, it's a community that really likes to help each other. Of course, there may be exceptions, but what I have felt is a community that a lot of people really like to talk with each other and like being together, like push each other out. So sometimes there's like these amazing opportunities that someone can do, that you can collaborate with other indie devs and like make cool projects. For Lonesome Village, we have an axolot, and there's another game called AK Charlotte. It's a game from Spain, super cute, the developer, super nice. And we were like, hey, do you want to make like a quick collab? Like, we can have like an illustration of our like two axolot, and we can do like a cross promotion, like I support your game, you support my game, and we share to our followers. And they were like, cool. And that was like very cute. Also, like, for Mexican indie game studios collab, last year we made a really big, amazing collab, which was for Dia de Muertos. There's something called Calaveritas, which is pretty much like poems you do for someone else related to death. And we made like choose to see like who we're going to be picking, like a raffle, and we had to make like a poem to another indie studio from Mexico, and it was really sweet, and there was like this amazing artwork, so that's really cool. You can also interact with other devs. I always love what Cult of the Lamb does. They are amazing, like talking to other devs and like making these cool things that you can see here, like talking to the Among Us people, and they have like art and fan art. All of that is really good cross promotion. It's also like pretty much free, and it's fun, and people like to see that. It shows like personality, it shows who the people behind the game is, and it's like really good to know. And also influencers. This one could be a little bit trickier because most of them is more related to paying, but sometimes it's really good to have sponsors like on TikTok, on YouTube, people like sharing your game with all of them and be like, hey, do you want to, like, write in an email, do you want to play my game? And all of that is really good to the promotion. So networking. Another thing you can do is go around to events and share your game. You can go to things like Gamescom or like all of that, and just go and share your game with other people, and that's something really good to do. And the fifth mistake is post without a plan or a purpose. So sometimes I feel devs or people who work in marketing make the mistake, because I have done mistake, that sometimes we feel that, okay, I'm just going to post this fun thing that I have been doing and that's it. But there are a lot of things to consider. First, you can post whenever you want, whatever you want. Is your social media, is your platform, is your game. You can do whatever you want. But if you want to post something to make it pass like marketing, you want to have it a purpose, you have to have in consideration when are you posting, where, at what time, and what is your content doing. So it's very important to have, if you're going to share about your game, share game assets, share, hey, I just finished animating this, I just finished like drawing this was my process, I just finished programming this, look at this cool clip about my game. A devlog, like putting updates about your game and how the development is doing, is really good. So you're like, people who are fan of the game or interested in your game can see like, okay, there's progress, they're like sharing something. So that's very interesting. And especially original content, like original fun content. There's a lot of games out there who got popular because of memes, because of the fun videos they're making. That sounds like a really good idea to do. So it's just to see, like, take a step back, look at your game, and be like, how can I share my game with the people in the most efficient and fun way possible? And you're going to see that each game is different. Some things that work with a game may not work with others, but it's like an adventure, and trying and error and seeing the days that work, the days that doesn't, at this time, at this that doesn't. So it's like a very trial and error thing, but it's very important to do it. So these are examples that I like. Story of Seasons, which was previously Harvest Moon. It can be something very simple. It doesn't have to be something very complicated. Like, you know what? It's Pancake Day. So we're going to post a picture of Pancake Day and something fun. They made a comparison of how A Wonderful Life looked back on 2003 on the GameCube and how it looks now on 2023. Kill Monday Games talk about Frambo, their game, and it's like a very spooky, creepy game that they talk about riddles. So the way they post the tweet, like their tweets, is like a riddle. It's like, as the screen cut through the glass and the shadow pieces fell to the ground, the tragic destiny of two weakened twin sisters revealed before her eyes. As you can see, for other games this wouldn't work, but because this game works like this, it's very original and people really like it. So this is like a quick example I have of good versus better content. Here I made like an example, like, hey, if you have played Orton Was the Case, who is your favorite character? This is good. You're engaged in a conversation. But what if instead of just being like that, we can go like, hey, it's Throwback Thursday, like people engage with the hashtag. Have you already met Siggy, Shaco, Mekon, and Elea? They are characters of the game Orton Was the Case. That will be part of the Steam Next Fest, using popular hashtags, putting in the pictures, because you have to be in consideration that if people don't know your game, they're not going to be like, I don't know who you're talking about. Like, who are these characters? I don't know them. So if you don't know, these are my characters, these are their names, and they are going to be participating on the Steam Next Fest. And also you can go play the demo right here, and like some emojis because we want to make things prettier. That's better. That's something more exciting. That's something like people like to engage more. And yeah, that's something like you can keep in mind. Also, something that is very important to do that I feel is to make a very attractive Steam like a Steam page. So for Super Adventure Hand, that I remember you can already get it. This is how the page should look. It looked good. Like you have like a couple of GIFs out there, and you have like the picture of the game and all of that. But I had the task of making it more attractive. So what I did is that, first of all, we changed the whole gifs. We changed the text. I made these animations you're seeing on the screen of the little hand walking and the little descriptions. I made that. I went to get more animated gifs. I like pushed the color. I made more animations. I made like more exciting descriptions. This drawing of like join our Discord. And first you can see like a live stream of C-Top playing the game. So that's even more like, oh my god, that's too much. But that's way more exciting than maybe just looking at this. So that's something to keep in mind. And yeah, so what did we learn? You have to do market research before the game is released and before you're in development. Like, start even before that. Do play testing. It's very important to see not only bugs, but to see how people are enjoying the game. Maybe they can give you better ideas and make your game even better. Opportunities on your platform, you have to look for them. Build relationships along the way. It's going to help you a lot. Like, if one big YouTuber happens to play your game, oh my god, you're on the other side. So like, it's very important you build relationships and create original content so they keep them engaged. And yeah, that will be it. Thank you so much. This is again, if you want support with your game, this is Bright Gambit, the company that I come from, and that's my Twitter. I know it's called X. We're still going to call it Twitter. But yeah, that will be it. Thank you so much, Latinx, for having me. I'm very happy to be here again. And yeah, you can follow us on X, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of that. And I'm very excited, and I hope it helps you out. So thank you. Bye bye.